Of course, welcome back to episode 37 we're on now of Academy to Anfield. And of course, the biggest achievement is I'm still here. I'm still the manager of Liverpool. I haven't been sacked, which at parts this season looked very, very likely. So a big achievement that I'm actually still here. There's still a couple of games left of the season to play. We've got Burnley today in the Premier League. I'm not thinking we're going to get fourth spot. However, you don't know what will happen. So fingers crossed on that. And then, of course, we've got the FA Cup final. And again, how we got to the FA Cup final, I do not know, guys. I really do not know. But we're there. That's all you need to know. We're at the FA Cup final. So we've got Fulham in the second part of this episode. So first things first, I need to show you what's happened since you were last with me. And of course, we went on, I wouldn't call it hit form, but we obviously lost against Arsenal when you were last with us. We then went and beat Southampton 1-0. We then struggled to beat Bournemouth away 1-0. But then we turned it on at home to Nottingham Forest there. And as you can see, Jason Stone got his first goal in, I think if I'm right, 16 games. So that's pleasing to see him finally scoring. However, we've got Burnley away today. And on paper, they're 18th in the league, already relegated. Looks to be... No, they're not. They've got it all to play for. Ooh, that could be... I thought they were already relegated. That could be quite a worry for us because you'd imagine they'll turn up needing to win. So they might play... Well, they say they turn up, they're at home. But yeah, they need a win probably more than us. So it's going to be a tough game. So I think what we'll do, we'll get straight into that Premier League game and then focus on the FA Cup in the second half. So here is the lineup for the final game of the season, the Premier League season anyway. We've got Alisson in goal, Trent, Pennington, Gomez and Robertson are the back four. Our midfield three are Bajcetic, King and Elliott. And then, of course, up front, we've got Kumas, Stone and Mo Salah. So let's kick off the final Premier League game of the season. It's been a long season. It really has been a long season. But the fact that we're only a few points off sort of first and second, maybe so second, it wasn't the failure that I thought it might have been halfway through the season. Let's put it that way. But of course, we've got Burnley today. It's pretty simple. We need to win and we need Man United to either draw or lose. But of course, first and foremost, we need to win. Doesn't matter if we draw, doesn't matter if we lose. We just need that win. And of course, we'll worry about Man United as and when the time comes. Of course, Burnley are 19th, 18th in the table. So theoretically, we should absolutely smash them. But if anyone knows Football Manager and if anyone knows our season so far, it's not going to be that easy. We show a bit of encouragement early on. We've hopefully got a nice highlight, should I say, for us here. Elliott with the ball, plays it back to Pennington. I would like a goal nice and early to set on the nerves because otherwise I can see this being a long, drawn-out game. Stone. I mean, I said he scored, didn't I? I said he scored for the first time against Notts Forest after like 16 games, but it looks to be straight back on his I can't score motto because he's just absolutely blazed over the bar. But yeah, so there's the table. Of course, 2 points off Man United. It does not matter what they do if we don't win. So, I mean, that sounds like the perfect time to go and score a goal. So if we could have one, Mark King there with a shot. Gone wide though, corner for us. I would like one before half-time. You can see Man City winning there, but they're too far ahead of us to even care about what they do today. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a goal before half-time. I didn't want this to happen. Let's take a quick look at the Man United score. It's still 0-0. So they're doing it for us. We're just not doing our own part. That's the problem. And the longer this goes on, the more and more I worry. I think we're going to go attacking because we need a goal. It does not matter if this is 0-0 for the whole sake of the Champions League qualification. And of course, I don't know. I think I've touched upon this before, but of course, as you're probably all aware, the coefficiency and the way it works now, the top two will get an extra spot for the Champions League. It generally is England. So fifth place generally gets you Champions League football. However, we were, last time I saw the table, we were second behind Spain, I think it was, and only by literally half a point. So I mean, that's not good, is it? That's going to VAR. Please say that's disallowed, because if it's not, we have got a hell of a task on our hand. Just waiting for the review, and thank God it's disallowed. Otherwise, you could have just kissed our season goodbye right there. Man United is still 0-0 with Fulham at the minute. I think it's time to make some subs. But yeah, so I was saying 5th place does not guarantee... Well, I don't feel like it guarantees us Champions League football at the moment. So I think we'll just bring on Gravenberch there for now. Just having a look at the Man United score, and they have scored. So Man United are winning. That generally means it doesn't matter what we do, win, lose or draw, we're not going to finish above Man United as long as they're winning. I suppose being 1-0 up though, there is always that chance for an equaliser for Fulham. So I suppose we just need to concentrate on what we're doing more so. Would be nice to get a goal here. We're sort of playing some nice passes around. Gravenberch to Elliott. Elliott, is he going to take it on himself? Plays it. Mo Salah somehow comes away with the ball. And yeah, big mistake there by the Fulham defender. I've got Fulham on the brain. Big mistake by the Burnley defender there. And Mo Salah does what he does best and pounced on that. And yeah, we're 1-0 up. It does not matter at the moment though. Look at that table. We're still 2 points behind Man United. So we'll keep an eye on that. And they've just scored again. So yeah, sadly, it doesn't look like we're going to have any sort of last day drama, unfortunately. I think we'll just make a couple of substitutes. I think we'll put Mo Salah up top. And Carvalho, no, Johnny Webb, I think. So yeah, I mean, let's just hope for a nice victory, just to warm us up for the FA Cup final. How about that? That sounds perfect. That sounds like the perfect way to forget about not qualifying for the Champions League. Man United have gone 3-0 up now. Surely it was never in doubt, was it? They'd win anyway. However, with us, we're 1-0 up away from home to Burnley. We should be 3 or 4 up by now. Generally speaking, I'd like to be 2-3-0 up against such a lower level team. Gravenberch there. We are 2-0 up. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it would. But Gravenberch there gets his 3rd goal of the season. And we're home and dry now. Surely we just need to wrap it up. And then we can move on to the FA Cup final. And hopefully win ourselves a trophy with the last game of the season. Of course, I've touched upon it a few times, but we haven't won a trophy yet. So it's now or never, really, isn't it? Just watching Burnley on the attack there. And how we didn't go for the shot there, I don't know. But somehow, good save there by Alisson. Somehow we kept that ball out. So we may even get the clean sheet. We've had a couple of them, 3 on the bounce, actually, if I can remember rightly. So we're racking up the clean sheets, but just at the wrong time of the season. I think if we had played a bit more dogged like this, sort of December time, and not been conceding so many goals and actually scoring some ourselves, we may have already secured Champions League football. So yeah, that was a bit of a rubbish time for us, really. But the other problem is we've not beaten the big teams this year. That's kind of one of the biggest things. I think we beat Chelsea once, but we haven't beat Arsenal, haven't beat Man United, and Man City have beaten us pretty comprehensively. Mo Salah there gets his 2nd goal of the game, 13th of the season. And a bit too late in the game to say he's on a hat-trick, but nice to see Mo Salah getting a couple of goals there. It could be his last season. Next one coming, so to speak. He's getting on a bit now, isn't he? So, but there we go. We've not done it. We've not finished 4th. We've not qualified for the Champions League. So now we just wait to see if we qualify through the coefficiency. The way they do it, I don't know. But there's confirmation. We're 5th in the league. Yeah, a little bit rubbish, but don't forget we've got that FA Cup final to look forward to. So here we go, the big one. The one that's eluded us so far in this save. We've got the FA Cup final, and here is the lineup. We've got Alisson in goal, Trent, Pinnington, Gomez and Robertson in the back 4. Our midfield 3 are Soberslai, King and Bajcetic. And then, of course, the front 3, we've got Kumas, Stone and Mo Salah. So here we go. And those of you that think you're only playing Fulham, it might be a bit of a walkover, I can assure you games against Fulham are not usually sort of practice game, battering games for me. They're hard for potential draws and losses, especially this season. The games against mid-table teams and lower table teams have not been the prettiest to watch this year. So I do warn you, don't expect a big 4-0 battering or anything like that. It's going to be a hard fought if we win this. It's definitely going to be hard fought. But I would like to touch upon the whole point of this. Oh, and Fulham have scored already. Within 1 minute. If we go, I think we're checking VAR there. And we hold our breath. And I just thank God it's disallowed. That would have been the worst start to the FA Cup final possible for us, wouldn't it? So, yeah, that's kind of put into perspective kind of how we've been playing. So, I mean, here's an attack for us now. But I would like to just point out that the whole point of this save is obviously to develop youth players and put them into our first team without signing any players at all. Oh, and King there just hits it wide without signing any players at all. So the fact that we're in a final and we've got, if we count Trent, Pennington, Gomez, Bajcetic, King, Kumas and Stone, what's that? Sort of 7 players out of our 11 that are homegrown. So I'd like to think with a bit more developing, sort of the next, not obviously not next year, but the next 2-3 seasons potentially, we could have a very, very good team that is full of homegrown players. Because the fact that we're in a FA Cup final, okay, it's against Fulham, but the fact that we've made it to an FA Cup final with this kind of team is a very transitional team, I think is the way we like to call it at the moment, is really good. So as for the gist of this save, where we're obviously taking our homegrown players and doing it that way, King there smashes the ball in. We've taken a 1-0 lead, and we're just talking about homegrown players, and King just steps up and smashes it into the top corner there. Such a good goal. And there we go. Like, players like King are already coming into the team and making a difference. So things are looking good for eventually getting to that end point where we want to be, winning a Premier League or winning the Champions League, etc. With I was going to say predominantly, and Lewis Kumas there with a second goal. Again, homegrown youth players prevail. King's got a goal. Kumas has got a goal. I'm talking him up, and they're providing the goods. So this is, I mean, we're 2-0 up in the FA Cup final. We've got Lewis Kumas scored. Mark King scored. We don't want Fulham to get one back here, because that would kind of really dampen the mood just before half time. So if we can just get this away, that would be lovely. Please. Doesn't look like, oh, and there you go. It doesn't look like we were getting that away at all. But yeah, I was saying predominantly youth, but however, we did say that the starting 11 generally will be homegrown. Hopefully. We'll touch upon that more in the next episode anyway, when we take a look at the players we've developing and kind of want to bring through. So we'll talk about that all in the next episode. However, we've got a Champions League final. I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got an FA Cup final to finish here. It's half time, 2-1 up, and very 50-50, I'd say. I say we're probably just shaving it in terms of who's got the most momentum and who's played the better team. I think we have, purely because we've created more chances and we've got more possession. However, we know that doesn't always mean you're on the winning side. So it would be nice to kind of start putting a bit of a bigger gap between us and Fulham. I wouldn't like it to stay 2-1 for too much longer. Robertson now plays it in. Mo Salah out of nowhere hits the back post. And there we go. Mo Salah apparently cannot stop scoring the last couple of games, and we're 3-1 up. And surely this FA Cup is ours to lose now. We should not they should not get back into this from here. Shouldn't is the key word there. But I think we'll look to maybe make a couple of subs in a second. We've got Stone. That's again having a quiet game, which is kind of worrying me a little bit, considering I want to make him my focal point of the as the main striker over the next couple of years. It does worry me slightly to see him having such a poor season. when he comes in and when he plays. But nevertheless, Doak has just come on and he's won a penalty, I think. Or are they checking to see if that was outside the box? I'm pretty sure it was in the box. But yeah, so we've got a penalty. We could, I was talking about don't expect to batter him, but we could go 4-1 up here with a Mo Salah penalty. Generally scores them. So, and of course, I say generally scores them, so he misses. That's just how it goes, right? But hopefully, we got a corner from this. Sobersley whips it in. Pennington with the header. And Pennington's got his 10th goal of the season. He just apparently loves scoring. Scored a hat-trick earlier on in the season. And again, the trend continues. We've got King scoring, Kumas scoring, Pennington scoring. All we need now is a Ben Doak, Stone or Bajcetic goal, and we've kind of got the whole collection, really. So I think I'll bring on Harvey Elliott as well. And yeah, swap those two around. I think we'll bring off Mo Salah, Maybe bring on Johnny Webb. Nice to see him playing in his, he's 17 years old, playing in his first FA Cup final. So that's good, a good, nice little achievement for him. But Gomez now on the ball, playing well as the right back today. Of course, we've got no playing good as the right back. What am I talking about? He's not the right back. It's Trent, isn't it? I didn't think Trent was playing for a second. Oh, my brain. Anyway, that's cleared away. Forget everything I just said. Let's just carry on like nothing's happened. Trent is on a yellow card though. We might look at taking him off, but I think Bradley is injured. I don't think he's on the bench. But anyway, I won't worry about that too much now. We're 4-1 up. We've got 5 minutes left in the game. It's just about seeing the game through now. And then we have a nice little trophy lift to see for the 4th consecutive season, which is always good. Elliott now with the ball to Webb. Webb hopefully... I was going to say Webb hopefully crosses it, but Webb's decided to take it on his own. And he scored a great goal in the FA Cup final. And what's going on? What is going on? We are battering Fulham. And our youth players just kind of want to step up and show off, I suppose, really. We've got 5 goals, 4 of them from our youth players. And this is a very good performance in general, but an absolutely brilliant performance from our youth players. And there we have it. We have won the FA Cup final. We've won the FA Cup, the one trophy, apart from the Champions League, that eludes us so far. And we've done it, and we've done it in style. We've won 5-1. Of course, like I've just touched upon, our youth players stole the show, really. So all that's left now is to see a lovely little trophy lift. And there we go. FA Cup winners. Won the Premier League 3 times. We've won the Carabao Cup. We've won the Community Shield. We've also won the Europa League. Of course, the next big one, it's got to be going for that Champions League, surely. But there we go. Happy days. We've won the FA Cup. Of course, now all we've got to do is wait for confirmation of whether we're in the Europa League or the Champions League. I've not had that yet, so probably something that we'll look at in the next episode when we look at the big review of the season and we look at those players that have developed, maybe not developed so well in the kind of what the aims are for the next couple of years. So thanks for watching, guys. Always good to see a trophy lift there at the end of the season. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.